Most of the things that people come in for therapy with is not the real issue. The real issue is underneath the big problem they're having. I've been a therapist for 30 years and I have seen this time and time again. Couples get divorced and they say the reason they're getting divorced is because they're arguing all the time. But underneath the argument is a real feeling that they're not in love anymore, that what they felt they lost a long time ago among the kids, among the bills, among the house payment, everything else. So what's underneath the conflict is this incredible loss, this grieving of not being able to love each other again. People don't fall back in love waiting for a feeling to come. They fall back in love by creating a safe relationship, conditions where their love can actually grow again, where both people can be vulnerable. So I made part one of this video talking about why people fall back in love or why they fall out of love. Now I want to make this video about how to do what you can do today in your own marriage to start falling back in love. Now, don't get me wrong, love is so much more than a feeling. The very immature form of love is what you see on TV. It's all that passion, all that lust, all that newness. But when love deepens, it looks different. It's more committed, it's strong, it's more respectful, it's tighter. It's harder to break apart. These two people are solid. And I want to talk to you, if you feel like you're on a verge of divorce, how to start reversing that and bringing love back into your relationship. And I can tell you one thing, a big trip, an exotic vacation isn't going to do it. It's all these little things. So step one, stop looking for the feeling. This surprises a lot of people. They say, I'll start acting loving when I feel love again. But healthy relationships work in the opposite direction. You act first. The feeling often follows. Think about exercise. Most people don't wake up excited to work out. They move their body first, and then the energy comes later. Love works much the same way. The action has to be first. A small act of kindness without you telling them, without you seeking reward for it. It comes from you, a small action, and then you step back and tell yourself, good job. You did one small action and we're going to build on this. Step two, become curious again. Who is this person standing before you? They're not that 20-year-old you married or that 30 or 40-year-old you married. There's someone new. Instead of saying, I already know what you're going to say, I want you to start asking, because people change. Dreams change. Fears change. Priorities change. So ask the questions, what's been on your mind lately? What's something you've been carrying alone? What makes you feel most loved? What do I do that makes you feel close to me? This is curiosity. This is what you need to ask. Step three, repair more than you win. You know how most of us go for the win? It's almost like we're going for each other's jugular. Stop that. What I want you to do instead is I want you to go for understanding. How can you repair after? What area did you lose control of yourself during that conflict? I want you to go back to them and apologize for that. I want you to say something like, I hurt you and I'm really sad. Tell me what will help change that hurt I did to you. Or just going up to them and saying, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that hurt you. Can we start over? Can we just start this conversation open? Your spouse will be receptive to that. They want that. They actually want to repair. It's just that your pride and ego, both of you, it gets in the way. Step four, build emotional safety. How do you do that? You keep what your partner says to yourself. You don't tell your mother. You don't tell your friends. You don't tell your mom and dad. You keep it to you. You talk to your spouse about it. You know, the other day when you said that, I felt scared. Or you know, the other day when you did that, I felt abandoned. I felt alone. Safety is important, and you can't create it till you know what makes your partner feel safe. And that means you need to start breaking down these discussions, and instead of letting off with a coworker or a random stranger or a parent, you need to start talking to them. Step 5, appreciate out loud. When your partner does something you appreciate, I want you to say it out loud. I really appreciate the way you made coffee. I really appreciate the way you were so quiet this morning so I could sleep in. I really appreciate the way last night you held my hand when we were watching TV. And if the kids are there, even better, they hear you appreciating each other. And the next one, step 6, protect shared experiences. Many couples spend years managing a household but very little time nurturing their relationship. Life lessons become hard. You know, you have kids, you have bills, you have schedules. Take a walk together, cook dinner together, play a game together, dance in the kitchen again, watch the sunset, travel if you can, laugh, find any way to laugh. Get a funny video. And if it says comedy or romantic comedy, even better, start watching those together and laugh at absurdities in the way you two have been together. Step 7, touch more. Every chance you get, I want you to hold hands, rub your partner's neck, or put your hand on their shoulder. Doesn't have to be sexual touch. In fact, it shouldn't all the time. It should be more about gentle touch. When you touch your partner, you remind them you're safe. I am with you. Step 8, let go of the scorecard. Your job is not to be your partner's editor or scorekeeper. Your job is to love them, to keep your own self managed. In other words, it doesn't matter what your partner said back. It matters what you did and what you said back. Keep track of that if you have to keep track of anything. And when you screw up, tell your partner, man, I am so sorry. That was beneath me. I cannot believe I did that. And I'm going to have to work hard to respect myself again. But how can I make this up to you, the pain I caused you? Step 9, choose connection before correction. It's always important, if you have criticism for your partner, reassure them first. You know, I love you. I wouldn't trade you for the world of husbands or wives. I just need to get this off my chest. When you put all the dishes in the sink, then it almost implies that it's my job to get them from the sink to the dishwasher. And I really find myself resenting that sometime. Do you think you can help me with that? When you go to your partner like that, you tell them, I'm on your team. We work together, but how can we make it so that we both can feel good about it? If you can get the dishes in the sink, then surely maybe you can get them in the dishwasher. And then whoever turns on the dishwasher, it doesn't matter. But we're skipping that step of resentment that one of us might feel if we're always in charge of getting them in the dishwasher. So asking your partner, talking to your partner like that with a reassuring tone, it's going to go a long ways in securing the safety of the relationship. And step 10, believe that love can grow again. You can't throw up your arms or throw in the dish towel every little hurdle you get. Whenever you're working on something, whether it's training for a marathon, practicing for a test, or some kind of a board that you're trying to write for, you need to understand you're going to take step backward. That doesn't mean you just throw your hands in the air and say, I quit, I'm done, I've tried this before. That's not how real love is. Real love goes the miles, and you know that in your heart. You just get frustrated. So at those times when you're frustrated, rather than throwing in the towel or saying something you'll regret, like we need a divorce, go back to your partner and say, I'm exhausted tonight. I'm just going to have to put this on hold. It only takes one hug, one touch, one word or sentence of appreciation to change the whole trajectory of your relationship around in an evening. Try that. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.